Hi everyone and welcome back to 5 Minute Family Search. So here we are, we're back on the main screen for the Find a Grave website. And now I'd like to talk to you about contributing to Find a Grave. So if you come up to the top and over to the right and about the middle of the screen, you'll see where it says contribute and we're just going to click there. So contributing is your way of giving back. You've been going through and using Find a Grave to find the obituaries and the headstones. And if you yourself wanted to become, like I said, a cemetery rat or just to help contribute in other ways, this is how you can do it to help them to build a larger database on Find a Grave. So I was going to make individual videos for each of these, but I think we'll just keep it all under the contributing folder and keep it like that. So let's go ahead here, and on the bottom you can see add memorials, upload photos, transcribe photos, photo requests, suggested edits, and upload spreadsheet. So we're just going to come over here to add memorials. And this is if you wanted to add a person in. So say I had a distant relative I found some information for. He's not in a cemetery. Well, he's in the cemetery, but his information is not uploaded onto Find a Grave that he's in the cemetery. This is where I can do it. So we talked in the earlier video about my family being in Russell, Kansas. That's where I actually was born. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to use that as an example. So I'm going to put in Russell. That's the name of the cemetery, and it would be in Russell, Kansas. And so I'm just going to put that information in, and I'm going to go ahead and click continue. It automatically checks only display locations with cemeteries. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. Oh, I spelled it wrong. So here's a little mini lesson for you. You got to spell it right. So there we go. Russell Cemetery in Russell, Kansas. So now we're going to click continue. And here is the one that I'm looking for, Russell City Cemetery. I'm going to go ahead and click there. And this is where I would add in the information. So add a memorial, I would put in first name, middle name, last name. If there was a nickname, and if it's a female and she was married, her maiden name. If they have a prefix or a suffix on their name, I can go ahead and click that to let them know. If they're male or female, all the information on their birth, the day they were born, the month, the year, and the location. Same thing for the death and their location as well. If I know the cemetery plot number, I want to scroll down and I want to go ahead and put in that plot number. If I can even go further and say the latitude and longitude, any information that I can give is helpful to them. I can click pin on the map and it's going to plot it exactly if I give them this information. If there's an inscription, I can write that here. Any bio information, I can type that here. Any gravesite details, it says a short note about the condition of the gravesite if I want to go ahead and put that in. And you might want to say that if it's kind of crumbling or if the information is getting hard to read, you can go ahead and put that information there to flag to other people so they know. And then you would just click add memorial. Now, like I said, we're not going to actually do this because we don't want to create a bogus one. So that is how you add a memorial. And I kind of went over that in another video when we talked about memorials, but that is how you go ahead and add one in. So now we're going to go back to contribute. If I wanted to upload a photo, if I went to the cemetery and took a picture, I would just come in here and I would spell it correctly. And I would put in Russell Cemetery and I would say it's in Russell, Kansas. And I'm going to click there and I'm going to click continue. And here is my cemetery that I want to work in. And I would just go ahead and say select photos. And I can pull in the photos from my desktop, from my photos folder on my computer, and just go ahead and put them in there. And that is how I can go ahead and upload all the pictures that you've been seeing where people have put in the pictures of the grave sides or the pictures of the actual people. That's how you do it. This one right here is the headstone photo. So that's where we would add that. I'm going to come back out to, oh, and up here, if you make a mistake, you can just change your cemetery right there. So if I get in and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't the Russell City, it was the Michaela Cemetery, I can just change it right there. So I'm going to come back out to contribute. Transcribe photos. These are photos that need some work done on them. There are no photos to transcribe at this time. And it says, please try again later, or better yet, upload some memorial photos and transcribe them. Any photos that you upload will be exclusively available to you for 7 days. So these are ones that people have put up, but they need to have all the information typed in. And that is where you can go in and be a volunteer and help type in the information off of the headstones. We're going to go back to contribute. Now this right here, this number, and this will change every time you log in. Right now, locally to me, there are 977 requests of people who are asking for somebody to go out, and I'll explain this right here. So I can put in my home location and how far away I want to go. So if I want to just say I'll drive anywhere within 5 miles, I can do that. And I would come in here, and this is for John Jones. He lived in 1934 to 2008. This is requested by Samuel Kirk. Sorry about that. And he requested it on November 18, 2016. So this has actually been here for a while. But if you look over here, I was looking at this one. You can click claim, and that one puts your name beside it, and you can go and you can take a picture of that. It's in the Riverton City Cemetery. It's plot number 14-22-10, and it tells me where, and it tells me it's 3 miles from me. But if I come in here, I can open up that problem, and someone says there is a record of this person, but no headstone exists as of May 12, 2017. So you can see that people have been actively going through and helping. Here's one for Ruby Carlson. This is in Larkin. That's not too far from me either. And there's another problem. And so these people are kindly going in and helping and saying, we try to take the picture for you, but there is something hindering us from doing so, and they will come in and list the problem. Now, if I wanted to, I could say, you know, I don't mind going to the Riverton Cemetery, and I'll go look for this Eldred Peterson, and I'll just come over here and I'll click claim. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to claim it, but I'll click claim, and that'll put my name beside it, and I can drive out there, take the picture, come back, and upload all that information and be a contributor here on Find a Grave. So we're going to go back to contribute. Suggested edits, that's just if there's information that needs to be edited, stuff like that. Suggestions for me, suggestions I've sent, just anything if you're contributing that people think need to be looked over again. This is an upload spreadsheet. This is, you can upload a spreadsheet to a cemetery. You choose your cemetery, you put in your name and the location, and I've actually already done this, and this is what it looks like. You would just put the prefix, their first name, middle name, last name, and all this information, and you're plotting out the cemetery to help them know where the different headstones are. So anyway, that one is uploading the spreadsheet to a cemetery. But these are just various ways. Like I said, Find a Grave is a great way to go and find all the information that you need for your family tree. But if you want to be a contributor and you want to help Find a Grave to add more people to their database and to make it an even larger record base for people to go in and look through their information, you can come in here yourself and be a contributor through one of these various ways that we've talked about today.